Today I would like you to show the London system. England currently play in semi-final of the football championship, and Novak Djokovic plays in Wimbledon and he tries to win his 8th title with his bad knee. So I think that is a good time to show you this London system. London system is very stable and good opening for the white. It is easy to learn, and if you remember this setup, you'll be ready to play the London system in almost all level until 2000 and below. London system starts with d4 and bishop to f4 move. Later you play e3, and like we see this bishop, the dark square bishop is behind this wall of pawns. He have a great scope, and this light square bishop potentially aiming the h7 pawn. Your army is ready to attack. Your knights and your bishop have a great scope, and you short castle and start the game. We'll see some principal lines because probably black would play some moves also and have some pieces on the board. We start with the principal line. You start to play with d4, that is the London first move, and you will play bishop to f4. The second move, and probably black will play knight to f6. Now you'll play e3 and you open up your diagonal for your bishop and for your queen. For example, your opponent can play e6, and now you'll develop your knight to d2, like you remember from the previous setup, and black can play c5. And now as soon as you see the c5, you build this pyramid of the pawns. You have this beautiful pyramid, and remember, don't ever take this c5 pawn because you will ruin your pyramid and you will help black develop. So black will play knight to c6, for example, and you continue with your plan, knight to f3. Black can try exchange the bishops because the white bishop is best piece in the London system, and there is the staring contest. You don't want to exchange this bishop also. You can go here, and if you attack you go here and go back, but you also, I recommend to play right away bishop to g3. Now black can short castle and you finish your development with bishop to d3. Like we said, I'm in this h7 pawn and we are ready to short castle. Black can play rook to e8, and here he preparing this e5 push. This e5 square is the most crucial in the London system, and you must defend it. You can defend it with the knight, and most often your opponent will try to attack you 3 times. If he attack you 3 times, remember to support this knight with the pawn and create this stone wall structure. Now you'll short castle and you continue the game. We can see some other lines in the London system. Like we said, we play d4, our opponent can play knight to f6. We can play bishop to f4, and our opponent can play d5. Now, like always, we play e3, and our opponent plays, for example, e6. Now we can develop our knight on d2. Our opponent can play c5, and we remember to build this pyramid of the pawns. Our opponent plays knight to c6, and we can develop our knight to f3. And now this move suggests that our opponent wants to play knight to h5 and exchange this powerful bishop. So we don't want to exchange that bishop, and we will play h3 move. And we are preparing the retreating square on h2 for a bishop. For example, our opponent can attack us, and we can go back, and he short castle, and we finish our development with the bishop to d3. He see that this knight is loose, so he retreat with his knight. We short castle, and we finish our development. We see some other lines, for example, d4, d5, bishop to f4, and if our opponent tries to copycat us, I will show you what to do. We again play e3 move, and our opponent can play e6 as well. We play knight to f3, our opponent copycat us and plays knight to f6. And we can transpose into Queen's Gambit decline. We can play c4 now, and our opponent will actually build this pyramid of pawns instead of us. And now we can play this move, important to remember, queen to b3, and we are attacking this pawn. Our opponent will try opposite with his queen, and it is important to remember that is again the staring contest. The winner is the one who blink first and exchange the queens. So we must make our opponent exchange queens and not we. We can do that with this c5 move to dislodge this queen, and the queen can take our queen, and we open up this column for the rook. Now we'll see what will happen if our opponent plays Slav or semi-Slav opening. We should start with the Slav opening. We place bishop to f4, and like we said, our third move is almost always e3 move, and our opponent plays bishop to f5. And now we again transpose into Queen's Gambit decline and play c5. And our opponent creates this wall of pawns, and now we develop our knight. So you see that it's not always we build this pyramid. Sometimes our opponent builds this pyramid. It's again, it can be from the our opponent can play semi-Slav also, and we will play similar lines. Bishop to f4. We have c6, which is the semi-Slav. We have e3 again very often, and this is our move for the knights. We place knight to f3, and our opponent can challenge our bishop, and like I said, we go back with the bishop, and if he ever take our bishop on g3, we are just pick up it with the h pawn, and we open up this column for the rook. So we goes back, and our opponent can play knight to f6, and we have two plans. We basically can play c4 and a knight to c3, and we can play a knight to d2 and c3. Now we'll see what would happen if our opponent plays King's Indian defense. It is like you know, King's Indian defense is well known that it can play against anything for the white. So we're gonna need the new plan for the white. We don't play with our pyramid or the pawns. We have a new plan. I will show you. We'll play knight to c3, and here is our plan to play queen to d2, short castle, and create avalanche on the king side. For example, our opponent can play bishop to g7, and we can occupy the center with e4. Our opponent continues his King's Indian defense setup with d6, and we play queen to d2 and create this battery with the queen and in the bishop, and a black short castle. And now we are ready to short castle as well. And this is our plan. Play f3, g4, g5, avalanche on the board, and we can exchange bishops here, and we have a pleasant game. We can sum up what we learned about London system. We create this pyramid of the pawns. We don't ever exchange the bishops. We don't ever exchange the queens on b6, on b4, and we don't ever exchange the pawn on c5. We let our opponent exchange, and we continue the tension. Like we said, if he exchange here, we open up this file, and our opponent can play to shut some files with c4, but we can challenge this pawn. He can defend it with b5, but we can again take it with a4, and if he continues defend it, he would lose the rook. So that is not good for the black. And that is some key concepts on the London system. Again, fight for this central e5 square. Like we said, we can go here, and if he castle, we can fight for this square. We can create this stone wall structure, and so on. Our pieces are perfectly line up for the attack, and that is some concepts. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you soon with some new videos. Bye.